My familia. Family. My familia. I put the lead to a nigga over my son and my daughter, cause off top, blood is thicker than water. Keep your hands to yourself when it comes to mines, cause over my seas, it won't be a next time. I go 50, 150, a million dummy. If you ever put one single hand on me, mummy, I'm not a killer, but don't push me. I won't play pussy, I got a dick, and I ain't scared to use the fully. For my blood, it's all love, I'll bust the slugs. Take one of mine, and I'm taking 10 of yours. Lord, forgive me, I know your commandments, thou shalt not kill. And vengeance is yours, but it's the love I feel that'll make me lose it. Grab the heat and use it with no hesitation. Yeah, I will do it over my wife, my kids, my mama, and daddy, and my two brothers, and the rest of my family. My familia, my familia, my familia. Don't mess around with my familia, my familia. Don't make me have to get ill. My familia, my familia. Don't mess around with my familia, my familia. Don't make me have to get ill. Ain't no fair fights when you fuckin' with fam. Pistol whip a nigga to death if my wallow jam. Cause it's all for one and one for all. And all it takes is one phone call for me to dump on something. Flip on something, cause it's retaliation, fuck repercussions. Ain't no arguing or fussing, just aiming and squeezing. Cause fucking with my family is a hell of a reason. The thought of a fool molesting my daughter, raping my mama, is enough for me to grab the llama and send them in trauma. Usually a humble man, but in the event of harm being done, took around and heaven sent, I hold court in the street with no judge or jury. And let whoever did it feel the wrath and fury. Pay back, make them suffer, smother them, head bust them. Bury their ass alive like this Palazzo brothers. Crack heads like eggs and lose consciousness. Ain't no resting in peace, they can rest in piss. They say it's too hard, but I can't understand it. What would you do, nigga, if it was your family? My familia, my familia, my familia. Don't mess around with my familia, my familia. Don't make me have to get ill. My familia, my familia. Don't mess around with my familia, my familia. Don't make me have to get ill. Would you do in front of your family's murdered in cold blood? Police had no suspects, but you knew who it was. Would you ride on that ass like the Wild Wild West? Or wait for the justice system to do their best? Picture your loved one in the casket as you pay your respects, and you know they was murdered and didn't deserve that shit. You can't tell. Thoughts wouldn't run through your mind about get back, pay back. Eye for an eye, my little bro got hit by two, but he made it through. If you wouldn't know, you know what I was gonna do. Do the fool, go berserk and forget I got brains. Like I'm from EPA and go totally insane. Making brain rage on them like it still could happen. And I ain't just fat mouthing, I ain't just rapping. It's real shit from the heart and not from the lips. With my familia, I go bananas with a banana clip. My familia, my familia, my familia. Don't mess around with my familia, my familia. Don't make me have to get ill. My familia, my familia. Don't mess around with my familia, my familia. Don't make me have to get ill. My familia, my familia. Don't mess around with my familia, my familia. Don't make me have to get ill. My familia, my familia. Don't mess around with my familia.